Your sixth sense. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We have observed an ability within the human race to find a way to project your consciousness out and to feel with your sixth sense. And we've also noticed that you don't realize what you are doing it most of the time. You mostly utilize this ability subconsciously, and it is an ability that you don't even realize that you have. So how can you benefit from the utilization of this ability, and how can you use it more consciously? We believe that it all starts with a willingness to accept that you are much more powerful than you give yourselves credit for. You must be willing to trust that you are capable of more than what you have witnessed yourselves doing, saying, thinking, and being. This projection of your consciousness is accomplished with just a little bit of focus, and if you focus with intention and deliberately, you can receive much more than what you can perceive with your five senses. Taking in the information that comes back to you from the projection of your consciousness is something that you'll get better at understanding. You'll have interpretations at times that you question. You'll wonder how much of it is real and how much of it is your imagination, and you will be right at times to question your interpretation. But eventually this experience will become automatic and it will be intentional. Right now, your experience of this ability is that you just know things and you don't know why or how. Or you pick up on a vibration, the vibration is pushing you away from something or moving you towards it. But even that experience is something you can second guess with your mind. We invite you to practice by quieting your mind and sending your conscious out to explore a possibility, to explore an opportunity to explore a situation that already is present in your life, and see what information you get back. See what you can pick up with your sixth sense of yours. You don't have to tell anyone about it. You don't have to act upon it. For now, just work on receiving the information and trusting it, and use it to form your decision-making. Use it to help you determine the vibration of something, and use it because it is your ability, and it is your birthright. It is time for all of you to step into the power that you have within you. Determine your own path. We are giving a bit of a map to all of you. It is a map that is filled with options for you to take. You are the ones who are deciding which journeys you are going to take, how you're going to take them, and how long you're going to take in getting to where you are going. We simply provide the map. When you have an agenda and a very specific destination, and often look for a very precise way of getting to where you are going, you want the fastest way. You want the easiest way. You want the way that is filled with the most certainty along your path. But when you cling too tightly to your agenda, you do not allow for the detours to take you to even more marvelous places than you could possibly imagine. Your hearts are like a compass, and your minds provide blinders that only allow you to see in one particular direction at a time. We have given you a type of framework that you can use to take yourselves beyond where the map indicates. Your journeys are not set in stone, and the more flexible you are, the better. The more able you are to bring yourselves to the understanding that this is not a race, the more fun you will have along the way. Your attitude is much more important than how quickly you get to where you are going. You believe in certain routes more than others, and you often put out all your faith into the known, into the well-traveled roads. But you have the ability to create brand new routes, and you are also capable of going off all unknown paths to blaze the trail for others. We can only nudge you in a direction, but we are not interested in controlling anything about your journey. See if you can say the same thing about yourself, and if you cannot, then it is time for you to open yourselves to more than what you see in front of you, more than what you can determine is possible, and more than what we can even guide you towards. Your experience of reality is shifting. You have experienced but a fraction of what your consciousness is capable of perceiving. This means that your awakening is also about experiencing more. It is primarily about awakening to the fact that you are source energy, but then you also get to awaken to the fullness and richness of reality. You get to experience it in its true form. The first thing that you will notice as you begin to see and feel more will be the differences in your ability to perceive with the five senses. As you open yourselves up to these experiences, you can expect to encounter layers upon layers of this reality that will excite you, that will inspire you, that will give you a newfound appreciation for your planet. The richness and fullness of the reality that you experience is in direct proportion to the amount of consciousness that you have awakened. And this is one of the reasons why being present is so important. In being present, you are able to perceive that which is right in front of you, and you are able to perceive it from a perspective that can only be experienced as you operate as your whole self or higher self. Becoming one with the experience of your reality, becoming the observer and the observed, is one of those mind-blowing experiences that you never forget. As you expand your consciousness, you expand your sense of self to include more and more of this reality, and that is something else that you awaken to. You awaken to the fact that you are the reality that you experience. You are not in it, it is you. It is you projected out and reflected back. And when you know this to be true without a shadow of a doubt, you are then able to create what you want to experience. You are able to go where you want to go, and you are able to be what you want to be. It all starts with a willingness to be present and to stretch your five senses beyond what you've been able to use them for previously. And as you're grounded in your physical bodies, you give yourselves the best possible experience of reality. The expansion that occurs is a natural byproduct of existence, but you can hasten the experience of expansion and you can accelerate your expansion, and you do so by shifting the way you experience reality. Your ability to create your reality. When you have doubts about your ability to create the experiences that you want to have, you are not taking into consideration the totality of who you are. You are looking at the situation from the narrow perception of the mind and the ego. The mind and the ego tell you that you're only capable of doing so much. You especially base your ability to create your reality upon the past, and that is one of the ways in which you limit yourself. There is an exception that you then create around what you want to create and what you can experience. The ability is there. It is within each and every one of you. There is no question that you can create whatever experience you want to have. However, you look at the facts a bit too much, and you don't give yourself enough time to let your creations come to you. And so the doubt builds, and the doubt prevents you from experiencing that which you've already created, that which was already on the way to you. This is why we recommend that you create for the fun of it, and that you create with a sense of joy and eagerness, rather than a sense of desperation and neediness. When you approach your creative process from a place of wonder and awe on all that is available to you, you put yourselves on a path, and that path leads to everything that you want to experience in your lives. There is no one right way to live, and there is no one right way to create your reality. You do have several opportunities to acknowledge yourselves and your abilities, but you sometimes dismiss that which you've created, and you don't give yourselves the credit that you deserve. If someone gives you something, you don't necessarily see it as your creation, but it most certainly is. So facing your doubts and your fears about your reality to create your reality will ultimately result in your full acceptance of the conscious creator being that you are. That result will come from your willingness to explore why you doubt yourselves, why you doubt your ability, and as you deconstruct those thoughts and those beliefs, you will ultimately get to the core of who you are. You will uncover the truth that you are a source energy being creating everything that you experience. When you raise your vibration, you put yourself in harmony with the higher self that you already are, and from that place you can create anything that you want. You can decide what you want to experience, and you can watch as the doubts melt away. Take the pressure off of yourselves. We've been looking at the various ways in which you are handling the stresses in your lives, and we have noticed something that we would like to point out to all of you. You often find that you are in a place where you put pressure on yourselves, and that pressure is coming from within you. The stress that you experience then is created from your own stance, your own goals that you've set for yourselves. It is not as though there is something else outside of you putting the pressure on you that results in the stress that you experience. You are literally doing it to yourselves and creating problems for yourselves where you need not experience such things. When we observe you, we often wonder what the benefit is of putting the pressure on yourself and experiencing the stress. And our conclusion is that you are attempting to avoid a much more painful experience, a much more painful realization. So let us say that you are putting pressure on yourselves to accomplish something, like a goal, because you believe that in the accomplishing of that goal, you will feel better about yourself. And if it looks like you're not going to be able to accomplish the goal, you experience more and more stress. Look at the areas in your lives where you're putting pressure on yourselves to succeed at something. Let go of that particular goal and instead give yourselves the unconditional love and the unconditional acknowledgement that you deserve. In other words, stop trying to prove to yourself that you are good or that you are good enough to be worthy of something or someone. You can always tell when you are putting that pressure on yourselves to succeed because you find yourselves in a constant state of anxiety, in a constant state of worry and even panic. You find yourselves fighting against the clock and the calendar, rather than relaxing into the present. You need not prove yourself to anyone, including yourselves. We desire for you that you will release yourself from the pressure that we see so that you can release yourself from the stress that you then experience. And we will continue to offer you our unconditional love in the hopes that you will offer it to yourselves. There is nothing that you need to prove or accomplish in this lifetime, or in any other. Feel the relief that comes from knowing this and from taking the pressure off of yourself, and you will begin to enjoy this beautiful journey that you are on. Create beyond thought. There is only your creation and what you decide to do with it. You have at your disposal a tremendous amount of creative energy, and you utilize but a fraction of it. This lack of accessing the creative energy that is available to you stems from your willingness to play a smaller version of this game. When you refuse to go beyond your capacity to think and believe what is possible, you limit yourselves and you limit your access to the creative energy that is always flowing to you and through you. When you fully embrace the creative life force energy that you truly are, you will have much more available to you to work with, and then you can create on a much bigger scale. We see all of you wanting to create a better world, not just for yourselves, but for all beings on planet Earth. And we know that you are capable of accessing the creative life force energy to exist in that world. But your thoughts and your beliefs often get in the way. Therefore, we suggest that you create outside of thought and outside of belief. We suggest that you work with energy that you can feel, energy that you can tap into, and energy that you can use to create your reality. When you create, when you're in that process, let go of preconceived notions about what is possible and exist purely in the realm of infinite possibilities. Demonstrate to yourself how powerful you are by accessing the energy at the core of your beingness, and let it show you just how powerful you are. When you attempt to create with the known, with what the mind can perceive, you limit yourselves. When you access creative life force energy by focusing on who you really are, you can create anything, you can experience anything, and you can become anything. Accessing this energy is as easy as reminding yourself of who you really are and feeling forward within yourselves, within the palms of your hands and within the core of your beingness. And once you do, you can relax and know that the energy you are accessing is absolutely going to go where you want it to go. You can relax into the knowing that in the moment you are creating precisely what you want, even if it goes beyond what your minds are capable of perceiving. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.